Good morning. I just wanted to give you guys a little play-by-play of exactly how to use both the Canvas sites as well as an outline of the Unit 1 module, which is brand new, and the reading guide and how I want you to use them. So let's get into it. So when you come into the AP World History Canvas course, you're going to see the title of it. You're also going to see my email, so let me know if you have any questions. The first thing that is here is a picture of the book, but if you click it, it actually will bring you to the PDF version. Then you're going to go ahead and just click the Enter Here button. You can get to our other places that you need to go by also clicking on modules. But the Enter Here button is going to bring you to the unit that is most current and that we are working on. So each of the modules is set up the same way. It is set up as class documents, as you can see here. It is set up as Chapter 1 sections or chapter sections from the AMSCO book. So these are just individual PDFs of each section of reading. And then you'll come down to the daily lessons. And the daily lessons are listed out in chronological order, and you'll remember from Unit 0, which I'm going to click into now, that each day has two things. The first one will have the page for the class. You're going to see the page with the date, the class that it is. So AV is AVID and AP is obviously AP World. And then the topic. Okay, so that is where you get everything for the class. And then the one below that will have the date of the class as well as the word homework. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and look at the unit syllabus, which for this one, it is not quite done yet, but I'm going to pull it up for you anyway. So the unit syllabus is a way for you to keep track of what we are doing in class each day, and then also what is for homework. You'll see the day in the class, the date, as well as the topic of what we're going to cover in class, and whatever is for homework. Now, typically, homework is going to include some sort of reading that you need to take notes on using the reading guide, as well as videos and supplemental readings. The reading guide. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up, and I think you guys are most concerned about this reading guide so far. So each reading guide is for the entire chapter. For this one, there are 7 sections. The sections are denoted with 1.1, 1.2, and all of that. Next, you're going to see the title of the section, and then the physical page numbers can be found right there. So that is the page number in your book, not in the PDF version. You will also see the reasoning process that we're going to learn in this. And for this one, or the first one, we're looking at continuity and change. And we can get into that a little bit more. Okay, the letters in this box are the objectives. So by the end of the lesson or by the end of this section, you should be able to do these things. For example, the first one is explain the systems of government employed by Chinese dynasties and how they developed over time. Now, the parts below this are focus notes, and it is already set up for you. On the left, you're going to see illustrative examples, as well as key terms and or key people. Now, those illustrative examples are not necessarily what we've read about in the text, but more so what the text is giving to you as an example, and we can see whatever concepts that are reflected in the illustrative examples, and those are straight from College Board. Next is the terms to know and key people. Now, yes, these will help you to guide your notes. However, terms to know need to go into your vocabulary section of your binder. So for this first section, there are 10 words, and each word should be written down and underlined along with the definition. Now, the definition here is going to include the time, place, what it is, and the importance. All of those are components to a definition. And these, again, like I said, need to go into your vocab section of your binder on white lined paper. Now, when you go to study, you are able to take these terms and put them onto note cards. That is a great study tool, but for the purpose of the lesson, you need to do this in the vocabulary section. Now, this big white empty space is for you to take your actual notes from the section. Now, so this is where you're going to take notes. The way that I want you to take notes here is I want you to read the section from the book 2 times, just like we practice in class with close reading. The first time that you read the section, it should be straight through without taking any notes down, and that is to get the gist or the flow, and that will also help you to identify key things that you need to know when taking the notes. Now, like I said, you shouldn't be writing anything down, but you could or should be reading this with a highlighter in hand and highlighting the book. Yes, you may highlight the book. It is yours. That is what a typical college-style class looks like. The second time that you read it is when you will use the subtitles in the book, and I will show you those in just a second, to help guide your note-taking skills. So the subtitles in the book that I am referring to, let me pull that up for you, are the things that are bigger or in bold, or they start a new section. Okay, so those would be the subtopics, and those are usually denoted with Roman numerals or letters. And then the notes that would go under that, you would use either numbers or bullet points for. And I'll go ahead and show you an example of that in class. Once you finish the section of reading, your job is to complete the summary. Now, you'll notice here that the summary is required to be 4 to 5 sentences, and the essential question here is already listed for you. So for that first section, you're looking at how did developments in China and the rest of East Asia between circa 1200 and circa 1450 reflect continuity, innovation, and diversity. Again, that is what you should be doing. Now, you do have an extension activity for each section of the reading guide. For this one, it's thinking as a historian. So you'll read exactly what it tells you, and then you will complete the questions or the explanation over to the right. Each section in the book has some of these, including multiple choice practice, and then eventually SAQs. Now, you should, according to the focus note process, be revisiting your notes. Now, we will do that in the class that we are covering that topic. So the homework is always going to be the section of reading that we will cover the following class. And we will revisit the notes by having mini lectures, doing class discussions, and then you can add things as we go. Don't forget some other ways to revisit your notes and do the processing portion of the focus note taking process is to rewrite some of the notes, paraphrase, highlight key concepts, ask questions or even answer questions within your notes or in the margins in a different color. Like I said, you'll have about 1 section of reading every night. Reading guides themselves are a grade, and they are not due until the day that we take the test, because I want you to use them to study. And then once you turn those in, it will be for either a prepare or a rehearse grade, and will more times than not be coupled with another assignment for that unit. If you have any questions, let me know, but we will continue working on this process throughout the next few weeks and as the year continues. Have a great day.